just about sailing August. This episode is going to be a little bit bits and pieces because I am involved in a major project at the moment, which is to make the holding tank and fit it, and I'm making it out of plywood coated in fiberglass, but I do want to send that out as a single episode because some people really are not interested in subscribing, but they do kind of search around to see how others have done things. Now this is not a DIY channel as such, it's just how I did it, so I'm going to put that out as a single episode. Oh, incidentally, I'll give you a little bit of a teaser. I have decided to go for composite seacocks for a very good logical reason, which I will explain in the video, which may be the next one, maybe the one after that, but I will put it out as one single video. So a little bit bits and pieces-y. At the moment I'm working quite a lot on trying to get a passive income sorted out, which is key for the longer term cruising plans, and it's very frustrating to spend time on that rather than actually be doing things on the boat, which is partly why things are getting quite slow, but it is as important as getting the boat ready. But today I thought I can actually come and work on the passive income stuff on the boat and take advantage of the fact that it's pouring down with rain, if you listen, because then I can check to see if there are any leaks. The windows seem absolutely leak free, which I'm delighted at. Normally if I was sitting here I'd be being dripped on, but there are a couple of leaks coming in from elsewhere, so we'll have a look at those in a second and see where those might be coming from. Also from a few days ago I did have a look at the where I've taken the gas bottle out because I'm not having gas on the boat, and see if that might make a nice chain locker, so we'll have a look at that. Chain locker, or I could actually keep the petrol, gasoline for the outboard in there I suppose. And the other thing I've done is I've started to do work on looking to get the water tank fitted. So that's a fairly trivial job, so I'll show you what I've done there so far, and then we'll take it from there. So as I say, a little bit bits and pieces this month, but that's just the way it is. This beautiful rainy day. It's so nice to be sitting here and not being dripped on. Right, so what should we have a look at first? So, loads of water dripping down there, not a thing coming in through the windows, nothing coming in underneath. There is, however, some water coming in the corner down here by the galley, but this is actually, you can see them there, just, it's a bit dark, and I can feel the water coming through there. That's where I took out the turn buttons, or I think in the States they're called common sense fastenings for the spray hood Dodger. Similar on this side actually. Don't know if you can see that, it's actually quite wet on there. And this was, oh, there we are, there was a drip that came through there, I don't know if I caught that. Yeah. And this is again coming through where I haven't finished that off quite properly where the turn buttons are. So that's easily fixed. The bit that is quite annoying is that there is actually some water coming in just here and then gathering down. And if I kind of go to the outside, I don't know if you can see that through the raindrops, but that's where the stanchion post is, so I'm going to have to, I think, rebed that stanchion. So there we are, there's the plate underneath the stanchion, and I think you can probably see just in the corner where there's that sort of bracing part, there's a trickle of water coming down. I think it's mainly from where the water's pooled on the outside, but anyway, so that's probably going to be, actually it's quite accessible. I think that should be an okay job. So I think my two key things to do when it's next dry is to plug up the holes and then wait for another rainy day. The old windows that are put back in, absolutely no problem at all, but there is a drip that's coming down around here somewhere. I don't know if you saw that, I just dripped on my finger through the old hatch. This is all going to be taken off soon. I think I mentioned to you last time, the only reason I haven't done that is because this bit has been fiberglassed in on the other side. So this is the most waterproof that this boat has ever been. So the water leak's completely manageable. I was expecting the one in the hatch. Two of them were my fault for not plugging up the holes properly when I dug something up, so it's really only the stanchion one that's a surprise, and everything else is dry. And it really is pouring with rain today, so let's go back to a slightly sunnier time and have a look at the gas locker and see if that would make a suitable sort of chain locker. So of course the other thing about going gasless is that I no longer need this space where the gas bottle used to be. It's full of water actually, and there's supposed to be on a drain in it, so I'm gonna, can you see that's full of water? I don't know if that's coming out because it's a bit of a glary sunny day. So what I think I can do with that is kind of put a bucket or something in there with some holes in, and that would, I think that would be a really neat place to stow some chain for the stern anchor. So the stern anchor could kind of come out of here. I might even be able to make some sort of a pipe or something from it, and then I could run the anchor roller off of here. I think that would be quite a nice solution. I'm planning to get a fortress anchor which could be clipped just up here, and that would make it very, very easy to deploy, very, very easy single-handed. So yeah, I think I might need to poke a stick into that and drain it. Aha, I've got the old piece of gas pipe, so I can shove that in there and give it a good blow, see if I can clear stuff out. Not really. Aha. We have running water. Not very running actually. Let's try and so that was useful as a gas locker, wasn't it? Given that nothing was getting through at all. I guess gas would have done. So anyway, I can clean that out, and I think that might work as a sort of drain locker. As I say, I want to take that up a bit further, and I could get a decent amount of chain and road in there. So I think that will work well as a chain, self-draining chain locker. I'm not sure how often I will use the stern anchor, but it's always useful to have a stern anchor, and I'll only put a short amount. I mean, I have got one. I've got an old CQR type thing, but I think I'll change it for a fortress. Anyway, so that's one of the things that needs to happen for the boat to go back in the water. The other one is the water tank, which I bought quite some time ago, and let's have a look at where that's going to go. I haven't finished this job yet, by the way, yeah, let's have a look at this. So a couple of issues to sort out here. One of which I knew about, and the other one might well be a miscalculation. The one that might be a miscalculation is that the distance from the top, where the filler tube goes in, to the bottom is really quite close to 40 centimetres, which is the maximum amount of depth I've got here, and I haven't got all of the maximum because of the way it slopes up. The old filler was a little bit lower than this, so I might have to modify that if it doesn't work. The second one that I knew about was that it's absolutely impossible to slide this into here, and what I'm going to have to do is this centrepiece, I'm going to have to cut it off and then glue it, epoxy it back on afterwards. That is a pain. There's wood underneath it. It's very well, you know, it takes a reasonable amount of load, but I've just got to do that. So let's do that, see if this goes in, see if it fits, and then figure out how to attach it. Ideally I'd like to put a piece of wood underneath and stringers and things, but I don't think I'm going to have the space, so we're going to have to be a bit creative with this. Anyway, really don't want to do this, but let's cut this centrepiece off. So anyway, I've got a grinder on board. That's much better than an oscillating multi-tool, isn't it? So yeah, this was quite made up. I'm sure I'll be able to get this underneath. It's got this thing here with glass wrapped around it. So this is it's a fairly solid piece of fiberglass anyway. This will have to be put back in. So time to find out whether the water tank whether this is going to work as an idea. Right, well it's a definite maybe. The tank itself fits in quite nice and snugly as per the measurement. This sticks up just a tiny little bit too much. Right, so as I see it, here are the main options. So the issue is that with the thing that I got with it, if that's sort of screwed all the way down, it just stands a tiny little bit proud, a few centimetres higher than this lip, which is what the flat thing comes across, so that's too big. An alternative might be to, and I've cut this off the old flexible tank, this is slightly lower in profile. Actually there's not much in it. Not sure if it's lower at all. No. That would just stand a little bit too proud, so that's not an option. Another thing is to use just a standard tank fitting, and I've got an inspection plate, so I could screw it on the inspection plate, which I can twist around to make sure this is in the right place. And then I haven't got the right size pipe to demonstrate, but the pipe goes in there, and that's a fair bit below, so that would work. That would be absolutely fine. I can put that in. The only problem with these options is, as you can probably see, I've got to have the tank slightly twisted, and I don't really want that. I don't particularly know why, but it'd be nice to have my tank level. I'm just going to put a piece of wood underneath just to level that out. That's kind of reasonably level. That's probably a bit more than I want. So if I put that in there, then again that's slightly proud, slightly too high up, and it would be nice to have this level and sorted out properly. So here's a radical thought, and I've lost one of these is for, I've got three of these, I only need two. There's a dip pipe on that one, so that one goes to the water feed. And then one of these is for the breather, and the other one I will block off. But I've lost the little things. They don't stand up very high actually. They're really quite tiny, so they're not a problem. So how to fill up the tank? Because none of these options seem to work. Well, the radical idea, and I think I'm going to try this for a while and see what happens, is through that. So what I need to fill the tank up, simply take this up, fill it up. Obviously a hose will reach through there easily, and screw the top on. Now the advantage of that is two things. One, I can fit the tank the way I want it, there's plenty of room, and two, no need to drill anything through the, I mean obviously the breather pipe will have to come out, but there's no need to drill anything. So at the moment I'm thinking that's what I'm probably going to do. Let's have a think about this and see if I can find these things. I don't know where I've lost those. When I say lost, by the way, what that means is I put them somewhere extra specially safe so I won't lose them, and by doing that I've lost them. Oh well. Well, I couldn't find these little things anywhere, so I've actually had to buy some, and these will basically go on there. So yeah, I'm perfectly happy, I think, with the idea that I'm going to fill up from here. So the next job that I need to do is I just need to put a board underneath this and actually fix the tank in, and then sort that out. So there we go, that's it for August. As I say, lots of bits and pieces, but I am actually having fun at the moment doing the holding tank because it's fiberglass, and I enjoy doing fiberglass. It's kind of a combination of fiberglass and woodwork. So that might be the next video, or it might be the one after. So I shall see you then.